All right, if you've got that G5 physics quiz coming up, you are in exactly the right place. This is your laser-focused review, designed to get you feeling confident and totally prepared. We're going to break down everything you need to know, straight from your study guide. So, here's our game plan. First, we'll get a mission briefing on what's actually on the test. Then, we're going to dive deep into a free-fall problem, crack that tricky conceptual question, talk about your secret weapon for the math part, and then we'll finish up with some final tips for success. First up, let's get our mission briefing. You gotta know what you're aiming for if you're gonna hit the target, right? So let's get a crystal clear picture of what you'll be facing. So, are you getting ready for that quiz on November 17th? Well, this whole explainer is built just for that day. We're cutting out all the extra noise and focusing only on what you absolutely need to know. Okay, this slide right here, this is your roadmap. Your quiz is going to focus on 5 specific freefall problems from your notes, 1 specific concept question, and you've got to know the quadratic formula. But here's the good news. You get a formula sheet. And even better, just bring a working calculator and you can get up to 5% extra credit. I mean, that's a no-brainer. Don't leave those points on the table. Now, let's roll up our sleeves and get into the problem solving. We're going to walk through one of the core freefall problems together, step by step, so you can see the exact process you'll need to use. Let's dig into example number 28. This is a total classic. An object gets launched straight up. It's a great example because it tests a few key ideas all at once. Our mission is to figure out 2 things. How fast was it going at the start, and what was its maximum height? When you see a problem like this, what's the very first thing you do? Seriously, before you even think about formulas, the best thing to do is just stop. Take inventory. Ask yourself, what information did they give me and what am I actually trying to find? And this is exactly how you should organize your thoughts. Make a list. Under knowns, we have the time, 4 seconds. We also know acceleration. Now, they don't say it in the problem, but it's free fall, so we know it's gravity, which is negative 9.8 meters per second squared. And here's the secret piece of info. At its absolute peak, the rocket stops for a split second, so its final velocity is 0. That leaves our unknowns, the initial velocity and the displacement, which is just a fancy word for the height. Okay, now we can pick our tool. We need a formula that connects final velocity, initial velocity, acceleration, and time. And this one is perfect. We just plug in the numbers we know, 0 for final velocity, negative 9.8 for acceleration, and 4 seconds for time. The only thing left to solve for is V0. After a little bit of simple algebra, boom! We've got our answer. The initial velocity of that rocket was 39.2 meters per second. Part A? Check. Now for part B, finding the height. We can use that initial velocity we just figured out. This big formula for displacement is going to be our best friend here. We just plug in all our known values, including that 39.2 we just calculated. And when you crunch the numbers, you get 78.4 meters. That's the rocket's max height. And you know what? This exact process, listing variables, choosing the right formula, and solving, is what you're going to do for the other freefall problems too. Okay, let's switch gears from the math to the ideas. There's one conceptual question you are pretty much guaranteed to see, so let's make sure you understand the physics behind it, inside and out. So take a second and really picture this. You drop a penny, it falls for a bit. Then from the exact same spot, you drop a second penny. So now they're both falling through the air. Does the gap between them increase, decrease, or stay the same? What do you think? The key here is all about speed. That first penny got a head start, right? It's been falling for longer, so gravity has had more time to speed it up. This means that at any given moment, the first penny is always moving faster than the second one. And because of that speed difference, the distance between them has to increase. The first penny is always pulling away from the second. Every single second, it covers more distance, so that gap just keeps getting wider and wider. All right, let's talk about the one mathematical tool that the study guide is very clear you need to have memorized. This is your secret weapon for solving some of the trickier problems. And there it is, plain and simple. You are expected to know the quadratic equation or the Mitternachtsformula formula by heart. You can't rely on the formula sheet for this one. You gotta have it locked and loaded in your brain. And here she is, Mitternachtsformula formula, literally means the midnight formula. The idea is that it's something you should know so well you could recite it if someone woke you up at midnight. So make a flashcard, write it out 100 times, whatever works for you. For any equation in that standard ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0 format, this is your key. So when do you actually use this in physics? Here's the signal. If you're trying to solve for time, t, and the kinematic equation you're using has a t squared term in it, that's your cue. You'll have to rearrange the physics equation into that standard at squared plus bt plus c equals 0 form, identify your a, b, and c, and then plug them into the formula to solve for time. We've covered the physics, we've covered the math. Now, let's wrap up with some simple, practical advice to make sure everything goes as smoothly as possible on quiz day. Here's your final pre-quiz checklist. Number 1, bring that calculator and make sure it's charged. That's bonus points just waiting for you. Also, start reviewing a little early. Don't try to cram it all in at the last minute. Trust me, it helps build confidence. And here's a pro tip. Get any questions you have answered before that final weekend, so you can use that time just to review and let all the concepts really sink in. And there you have it. That's the complete game plan. You know what's on the test, you've seen how to solve the problems, and you've got the final tips. The only question left is which of those example problems are you going to practice first to lock in all this knowledge? You've got this. Good luck.